everyone, welcome back. Today we are direct sowing in our beds as well as in containers. So if you are in the process of getting some direct sowing, you are in the right place. And hi, if you're new here, my name is Kristy and this is
Madilyn.
And we are located in Massachusetts Zone 6A with an average last frost date of May 15th. It is Memorial Day weekend. We have so many projects to do and we are going to be direct sowing. Now last year I did start my squash, zucchini, and cucumbers ahead of time indoors, but they grow so fast and I felt like the ones that I did direct sowing actually did a little bit better. So we are just going to direct sow a lot of things today. We have squash, we have zucchini, we have bush green beans, we have pole beans, and we also will be adding some nasturtiums in the corners of the beds, and we will be doing some cucumbers. Now, some of them will be in our 6x3 raised garden beds. They are made out of cedar pickets. So I have one bed here, we will have our squash and zucchini. Another bed down the way, we will be doing some bush beans. And I have 6 containers, which will be using these metal cages around them for our pole beans and some cucumbers as well. So let's get to it. So I already prepped these beds back in April. Definitely check out that video where I show you how I make my own garden soil. I purchased a 50-50 mix from a local landscaping company, and then I also add perlite, worm castings, and peat moss, which you can also substitute with coco coir if you would like. So it's a 50-50 of topsoil and compost, and then I actually just added another little layer of worm castings. I did my best to get some weeding done. And this bed actually already has some nasturtiums in every corner. I found that super helpful last year. Almost all of my garden beds had nasturtiums in the corners, and then some of the beds will also have marigolds. So this one right here in particular is going to be my squash and zucchini. Now, last year I tried growing them vertically by staking them and then tying them up as they grew. I did not have too much success. I just wasn't sure if it was because the flowers were not being pollinated enough. I tried doing hand pollination, but when I was checking them in the morning, the flowers were closed, and then by the time that I got home, they were also closed. So I was missing that window. So I was also making sure I had a lot of different flowers around the garden, hopefully helping to bring those pollinators in. So in this bed right here, again, it's a 6x3 garden bed. I'm going to plant 3 squash right here and then 3 zucchinis, and then what I'll probably do is I'll put 2 seeds per hole and then just thin it out later. And then I do plan on succession sowing. I know I could probably fit a few more in here, so I'm hoping that I can maybe put some in spaces in between as they start to die off. So hopefully we'll be able to get those in. So what is great about doing direct sowing with squash and zucchini and green beans is that the seed size is very large, so it's good for little hands like these. So Madilyn's gonna help me out. So first off, I have 2 seed packets from Johnny Seed Select. I have the Green Machine F1 for my zucchini, and for my squash, I have the Golden Glory F1. So we're gonna start with our summer squash, and I am going to make 3 holes, and then we'll put 2 seeds in per hole, and then I will thin them out. So I'm gonna put 1 in the middle right here, and then I'm gonna give everything a really good water.
What? Put some seeds in.
All right, and then Madilyn's gonna help. So you're gonna put 2 seeds in there. All right, so count 2. And they are nice and big, right? Okay. All right, put it in there. All right, good girl. Here, you can reach right across. And then she's gonna cover them up and then put 2 in this one. Great job. All right, put them in and cover them up. All right, so we just put the Golden Glories in, and now it is going to be the Green Machine. Again, we are gonna make 3 holes, and we will put 2 in each hole. So we'll put 1 here.
Wait, so each one gets 4?
Each one gets 2.
2?
Wow, look how big these ones are.
Wow.
All right, go ahead.
Way too big. These ones are way too big.
All right, and then cover it up nicely.
Are these still zucchini?
Yep.
So you notice that I'm doing 1 at a time. For squash, I had to do 2.
All right, cover it up. All right, now good. Now do this hole. This is easy, she said. So it's good for little fingers. Sunflowers are great too. Cucumbers, like I said, pole beans. Nasturtiums are also great. All right, there we go. This bed is all set and we'll give everything a nice good water. Let's head over and we're going to be planting green beans next. All right, up next we have green beans. These are the bush variety. I also have the Kentucky pole beans, which we'll be doing in containers because those got so out of control and it was such a pain to take them off my wood last year, and I had a trellis netting. So with the green beans though, I spaced them very closely. Last year, I believe I had 2 harvests from them and I spaced them probably about 5 or 6 inches apart. So we're gonna be getting a lot of holes. These I will only be planting 1 per hole just because we are condensing so many in here. Now, they are by my tomatoes, so I'm hoping they won't be blocking too much of the sun. So we're gonna start in the back and I'm gonna get in the corner here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll have roughly 8 across.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so we're gonna have 4 rows of 8. And again, I will give these a nice water afterwards. I have to water my whole garden. And I just use a hose with a nice shower head as an attachment. And, oh, good job. And then Melanie, you're gonna help me fill it out. All right, that should be great. All right, you're only gonna put 1 per hole.
Well, they look different.
Yeah, these do look different. Oh, grab that one. All right, don't cover it yet. Just put 1 per hole and then we'll cover them, okay?
We put 1 in each?
Yep, 1 in every hole. So now we are going to close up the holes. Can you help me close them up?
Yes.
All right, and then we're just gonna, once you backfill, you're just gonna tap it down just so everything has good contact. And what I love about direct sowing is there's no hardening off. It's literally as simple as this. You can go obviously much faster, you can take your time. You just have to make sure that you keep them moist. Now we're gonna head over to my containers where we'll be doing some of the pole beans and some cucumbers. So up next we are doing our cucumbers and pole beans. Now cucumbers love to vine and trail on things, so I actually always suggest checking out your free Buy Nothing groups. I got these cages right here. They are heavy duty, they will withstand, they had vines still wrapped around them. So I cleaned them up and I am going to put a container inside each one. Now this tall one right here will be for the pole beans, and then these ones right here will be for the cucumbers. They will branch out, and then if they need to, they can also climb on the fence right behind us. So I will be putting 5 in each one. I will just put them on the outside so that way they are able to branch when they need to. So we're gonna do 2 cucumber ones.
I can put it in my hand.
Yeah, you wanna hold them? All right.
I want to put them in
You
my
hold
hand.
Okay.
I'll do it by myself.
So we are going to be putting 5 holes in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And you put 2 in each hole just in case. So I always like to put 2 just in case if one doesn't germinate. And then you can always thin them out or you can let them be. It is totally your choice. But for us, I feel like you can never have enough cucumbers. I will be doing some cucumbers on a trellis over on another garden bed, but those ones I actually started inside my greenhouse and they are just starting to germinate about 7 or 8 days later. All right, do you have 2 in every single one?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not this one.
Not that one? All right.
And a lot more.
Perfect. All right, so I am going to cover these
No,
up.
can I help you?
Of course you can. All right. And then we are going to do the same thing on this one. So we're going to do 1,
2,
3, 4. I want to put that in the middle.
Here?
Yep. Great. 5. All right, go ahead, put 2 in every single one. And again, these are just with my own pre-made potting soil. You can always just go to the local box store, but I find that it is just cheaper. I bought a big cubic foot one off of Amazon for my perlite and my worm castings. I'm still using a big bag from Costco. So definitely check it out. I have found this to be super helpful. All right, this one needs 2.
Oh, can I cover them?
Mhm.
Myself.
Yes. All right, and then while she is covering these up, I will be working on our pole beans. And these ones are actually from last year, so they're dated for 2024, but they will be totally fine. Great. All right, so let me see your cucumbers. All right, and then I'm going to, do you have another one? All right, good. Pop it in there. Go in here, honey. Good. All right, and then here, hold these ones.
Okay. And can I put them in my hand?
Sure, go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the pole beans last year, they didn't start to produce anything until probably end of summer, early fall. They were just growing and tangling themselves between each other. So it was a mess getting everything down. I had them growing up a trellis, like a netting, and it was great. And we got so many out of it. So I definitely wanted to grow them again, but I figured this time we'll just try and contain them a little bit more.
I think I'm gonna cover them with that.
Okay.
Now, cover it up. Cover it up. I put one here.
That's fine. And then one right here.
Okay.
Fantastic. So we'll give these a good water later, but I'm going to get them inside these trellises, and then we're going to do the same thing over there. All right, so in this corner right here, we have cucumber, and pole bean. And then if you go over this way, we did the exact same thing. We have cucumber, and pole bean, and it's just a great way of making space. We are back in our green bean patch, and we are planting some nasturtiums. They are super easy. There's many ways you can go about planting them. You can soak them for 24 hours. You can nick them if you want. I have had totally fine results doing absolutely nothing to them, just having some patience. And again, always making sure that wherever you're planting, it stays nice and moist, so that way they can have a great germination rate. So I just have a few left of my dwarf jewel tone ones. So I'm gonna put some in every corner. I actually already have some over here from starting them indoors. So we're gonna actually just chuck a few in the corner. So I think I have about 10 seeds left. And all I am going to do is just make a hole in the corner, here and here. All right, so Madilyn, how many do you have?
I have only like 3.
3? Okay. All right, take one more. So we have 4 in each. All right, so you put 4 in this corner. Yep, 4.
1. All of them?
Yep, all of them. Now you're gonna fill it in.
2. There's 2 on each
That's
side.
fine. All right, now fill it in with some dirt, sweetie. And it is as simple as that.
2 of my left I have.
Oh, here, put them right here. All right, she found 2 more, so we'll put 2 here. Same
4
thing.
and 1 and 2 and 1.
All right, excellent. And we're just gonna keep them nice and moist throughout the week, and you'll see some germination. I think I had about 8 days indoors, so we'll see what's like outside. It's going to be warming up, so hopefully that will help. This is a great thing to do with your children. The seeds are big enough so they are able to hold it, so it's great for tiny hands, and it's always fun. Do you have fun planting with Mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she loves to water everything, and of course, once the flowers start coming out, she is excellent at picking green beans, right? At the farm share, she would have handfuls. It's just really fun for them. Green beans are great. Cherry tomatoes are amazing as well. If you want to stay tuned and see how everything is growing in the garden, don't forget to
Like and subscribe.
like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Happy gardening.
Bye.